Hey there, everyone. Tonight we have a lot to talk about here on this special episode of my podcast. That's right, welcome to Steven's NFL podcast. Tonight we have a lot to discuss about, like say my mock draft, for example. That's right, I created my own mock draft. And then and also we'll be discussing the college pro days. That's right, college pro days start tomorrow, starting with Kansas. Then, of course, we'll be discussing March 9th through April. I don't remember the final April day. Luckily, I have the whole schedule right here. I even put it in a Google document. Also, we'll be discussing about the Amazon Prime situation. I mean, seriously, what in the world's wrong with these guys? I mean, seriously, reducing yourself to Amazon Prime, not cool. That is kind of crazy when you think about it. Amazon Prime. I don't know what the heck is wrong with these guys. I mean, seriously, Amazon Prime, after what happened with the 49ers in the Cardinals game last year, you really want to go to Amazon Prime. I mean, seriously. After their 2 years with Fox is up, they want to sign with Amazon Prime. Are they crazy? Didn't you learn your lesson from the 49ers and Cardinals game? Sure, we all have to create Amazon Prime accounts in order to watch the games. Sure, that could be easy, but here comes the problem. When the Wi-Fi shuts off right in the middle of the game, that's a problem. That is where the real problem is. The Wi-Fi issues are the big problem. I mean, seriously, when the Wi-Fi shuts off, you're missing the game, and they don't even care. I mean, seriously. They don't even care. I think this is some kind of ruse to get people into the stadium to watch the games, not just... Ha! LOL facts. Brandon Levin. There we go. Yeah. And welcome. Yeah. What kind of people are they? I mean, seriously. True, Thursday Night Football isn't, in fact, the biggest day of the year, but still, all games should be treated equal. I mean, they got Sunday night and Monday night under control, but Thursday night, they're treating it like a joke. Sure, but here comes the thing. We only have 2 more years left with Fox. After that, if the deal goes final, Amazon Prime will be the new home. And what's that mean for NFL Network? Will they stop hosting games and force us into Amazon Prime? Because let's think about it. Because the NFL, let's think this over. The NFL is risking their careers on this. After the attempt at the 49ers and Cardinals game, they got a low amount. They got this much rating people watching. Want to know why? Because Wi-Fi was out for a while, and therefore people stopped watching the game. Sure, the 49ers had a terrible record, which is part of the reason, but still, this was the number one concern. You think you could have learned your lesson? I mean, seriously, what the heck is wrong with these guys? Fox, please don't force them to do this. If they go to Amazon Prime, they're wasting the NFL's time. Because some people are going to have their Wi-Fi shut off and therefore won't be able to watch the game. Unless they keep NFL Network, this would be a bad move. It would be a bad move. I mean, seriously, what the hell's wrong with these guys? Like, say you're watching the game, and then all of a sudden, hey, Why did the Wi-Fi just shut off? Wait a minute. That's not the right score, is it? I mean, seriously, the hell's... I mean, seriously, people can miss part of the games if their Wi-Fi shuts off. If their Wi-Fi shuts off. Amazon Prime should not be involved with the NFL. Not without a TV sponsor. Not without a TV sponsor. Get rid of Fox and NFL Network and put Amazon Prime only, and you're asking for low ratings. You are asking for low ratings. Then again, maybe it's us that's the problem. We don't watch enough Thursday night football games. And that's why they're deciding Amazon Prime should be Thursday night football sponsor, because we're not watching enough Thursday night football games. We need to watch Thursday night football to make them change their minds. Which is why we all have to come together and watch Thursday night football games, even if our teams are not on it. We have to come together if we want to avoid Amazon Prime. Now, this deal's not finalized, so there could be enough time to make them change their minds. I mean, seriously. We could still have enough time to make them change their minds. Start spreading the word. Start watching Thursday night football games on NFL Network or Fox. If we can convince them by giving them high ratings on Thursday night football, then probably and Amazon Prime is not yet ready for this, we could save Thursday night football. I mean, seriously, that's the problem. We're the problem. We don't watch enough Thursday night football games, therefore Amazon Prime is equal to take that away from us. I mean, seriously, we're the problem, people. We have to step up. We seriously have to step up to this. If we don't step up, then guess what? Amazon Prime is going to be taking over, and therefore we have to watch it on Amazon Prime. And what happens if the Wi-Fi shuts off? Game over. I mean, seriously, this is why I don't do streaming. This is why I don't watch things on the... This is why I don't watch games on the internet. Because I know these kinds of things are going to happen. These kinds of things are going to happen, people, and there's nothing we can do about it. We have to step up. We have to step up. Otherwise, before this deal gets finalized, otherwise we're going to be in big trouble on Thursday nights. I know I can't do Thursday night football without a TV. If my TV doesn't show the game. I mean, seriously, do you want this deal finalized? Just note, if your Wi-Fi gets cut off, you're going to miss part of the game. By the time it comes back on, what's going to happen? You may miss parts of the game, or worse, the end of the game. What happens if it shuts off before the end of the game? Right when you're building the suspense. It would be totally bad. It would be totally bad. This has got to be some kind of scheme to get us into the stadiums. I mean, seriously, we need to step up, people. We need to step up. Because if we don't, then we're screwed. And may Thursday Night Football rest in peace, if that happens. Anyways, now let's move on to the next topic, which is college football, college pro days. That's right. Pro days start tomorrow, starting with Kansas. We already saw Trevor Lawrence's pro day, and it was a big success. Of course, Trevor Lawrence obviously had to get it over with so he can be ready for training camp. You can't exactly blame him for starting early. This time, the whole schools are ready to go. That's right. All the schools are ready to go. We are ready. You're ready. As we all know, tomorrow is Kansas's pro day. I don't see much teams taking a trip to Kansas. I can guarantee you that. March 9th, we got Kansas State, Northwestern, and Wisconsin Whitewater. So yeah, Wisconsin Whitewater. I can see Los Angeles Chargers heading to Northwestern on March 9th, just in case, because they do need a tackle, and I think Rashawn Slater could be it. I think Indianapolis Colts would go March 9th. Rashawn Slater could be the guy both teams are looking at. I mean, seriously. March 10th is Arkansas, Marshall, Maryland, and Wisconsin. Yep, those 4 schools are March 10th. Now on to March 11th. Clemson, Nevada, and Texas. I hope Tennessee Titans go to Texas to show their support to Joseph Ozai. I think that could be an edge rusher they can look at. But Clemson, without Trevor Lawrence, I think it could be a boring day, but then again, there could be some guys that would excite. I think New York Jets might be heading to Clemson. I can guarantee you that, because there's a running back they're looking at. Travis Etienne, I think. Yeah, I think that's a guy. That's a Clemson guy New York Jets could be looking at. Remember, New York Jets, they do have 2 picks in the draft this year. 2 first-round picks in the draft this year. After that trade with Seattle. March 12th, we got Arkansas State, North Dakota State, and Oklahoma. Now March 12th could be a boring day unless, of course, you're interested in Ronnie. I can't remember his last name. Anyway, he's the edge from Oklahoma. March 15th gets a little boring. It's Army, Kentucky State, Middle Tennessee State, and Vanderbilt. If Tennessee Titans are going for homeboys, they're going to have to choose between Middle Tennessee State and Vanderbilt on that day. I mean, seriously. March 16th is Georgia Tech and Temple. March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, which is also NFL Free Agency Day. We could expect some teams to be at these following schools, therefore could affect free agency opening day. Arizona, Georgia, Illinois, Pittsburgh, and St. Jose State. Man, I could see Tennessee Titans being in either Georgia or Pittsburgh to look at Azeez Ojulari or Patrick Jones II. I mean, seriously, I can see one of those 2 schools, because, and they can't look at them both. And they can't look at them both because guess what? They both share the same pro day. Yeah, Azeez Ojulari and Patrick Jones II share the same pro day, and that is March 17th, which is opening day of the NFL free agency. So if Titans are interested in Azeez Ojulari and Patrick Jones II, they gotta choose between the two. I mean, serious. Gerard Woods, what's up? And welcome. And welcome. Right now we're talking about the pro day schedule. We're on March 17th already. And I mean, seriously, I'm talking about my boys, the Tennessee Titans, and they have to choose between Georgia or Pittsburgh if they're looking for Azeez Ojulari or Patrick Jones II. I mean, seriously. If they're traveling to get an edge rusher in the draft, they got to choose between Georgia or Pittsburgh because those two share the same pro day. This is where March 17th becomes a problem for some teams because at the same time, March 17th through the remaining days. If you're a school that scheduled its pro days before free agency, you're all set. But if you are, you distract a lot of teams. But you distract all 32 teams if you are. Especially Tennessee Titans on opening day. I mean, seriously. They're in the rush for an edge rusher, and right now, Azeez Ojulari and Patrick Jones II could be some of those guys, but here comes the problem. They can only attend one pro day, and they can only attend one pro day, and Georgia and Pittsburgh share the same day. That is tough. That is tough to choose between Azeez Ojulari and Patrick Jones II, to choose between which pro day the Titans should attend. I mean, seriously, Georgia and Pittsburgh, they both share the same pro day. And that's St. Patrick's Day, which is also NFL free agency day. Anyways, now on to March 18th. Auburn, we got a lot of schools on March 18th. Auburn, Buffalo, Central Arkansas, Louisiana Tech, Louisiana Montford, Stanford, Troy, and West Virginia. I can see Indianapolis Colts March 18th looking at Christian Darrisaw. I mean, seriously, Christian Darrisaw could be the favorite for Indianapolis Colts to draft. I can see the Colts on March 18th heading on over to West Virginia because... Oh, wait, is it Virginia Tech? Oh, crap. Never mind then. Nah, never mind then. Shoot. Oh, well. Sometimes I goof on the schools, but this is the real schedule. March 19th is Memphis, Ohio, and TCU. If you're a Baltimore Ravens, New Orleans Saints fan, you're looking at that safety Trayvon Mulverick. Then this is the day to do it. March 19th. You're a Ravens, Steelers, a Saints fan, you're looking at that safety, attend March 19th. Day. I mean, seriously. March 19th. Who would have thought? Next up, we got March 22nd. Air Force, Bowling Green, Colorado State, Florida State, Iowa, Missouri, Toledo, Yeah, these schools are March 22nd. And now March 23rd is going to be a pain in the butt for me as a Tennessee Titans fan. I mean seriously, the guy I want on the Titans and the guy Titans are looking at, they share the same pro day. I mean seriously, here's what I'm talking about. Here's what March 23rd's pro days are. There's Alabama, Central Michigan, Iowa State, Nebraska, and Purdue. And guess which one Tennessee Titans are planning to attend to? Not Alabama, it's Purdue. I mean, seriously, oh my God. I want a Christian Barmore on the team. And instead, they're going to Purdue to look at this Rondale Moore guy. I mean, sure, they need a wide receiver, but come on. Unless you're getting Jarrell Casey back or getting Leonard Williams, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. But then again, two other teams are looking at this Rondale Moore guy, and that is Los Angeles Chargers and Green Bay Packers. Now, Chargers, they don't make sense, but Packers do. I mean, seriously, Packers, they need a wide receiver. And they totally blew it during free agency. And, of course, the draft, which turned out to be a joke, by the way, last year. We were all laughing on that day, all except for Packers fans everywhere. Especially Tom Grossi, who freaked out on those first free picks. I mean, seriously. I saw his reaction to that. I mean, seriously. Well, if Rondale Moore's the solution, then Packers are basically the team to get Rondale Moore. Then Tom Grossi probably going to pray. So to all you Packers fans, you better start praying that Packers finally get things right. Because I'm praying the Titans do hope they get things right. And right now, March 23rd's pro day is not it. I mean, seriously, they can look at Rondale Moore, but can they do it virtually? Because Barmore is more important. I mean, seriously. Unless you're getting Jarrell Casey or Leonard Williams, then you're officially screwed. This makes me wonder if Tennessee Titans are really going to be the favorites for Leonard Williams. They're overconfident in that. But if it came down between the two, it's going to be Leonard Williams because Jarrell Casey is going to, because it's going to require a lot of begging for. What are you doing? Do you think we should resign Clowney? This is a tough call to make. I mean, seriously, it is a tough call to make, Woods, but it's most likely it could be possible. But here's the thing. It's going to require a miracle by all the fans. I mean, seriously. It's going to require a miracle by all the fans. It all depends on whether the fans want Clowney or not. And honestly, I don't know what to think about this. Plus, he's not scheduled to sign with anyone till April. Because that's the time he recovers. Clowney has to recover 100% before signing with a new team. I mean, seriously. And he's scheduled to come back in April. Basically it's going to be a tough call to get Clowney back. I mean, seriously. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. Now we move on to March 24th's Pro Days, which is Michigan State, Mississippi State, South Carolina, USC, and Virginia. I think South Carolina is going to be a popular place on that day, because if Tennessee Titans were to let go of Malcolm Butler or Adoree Jackson, I would freak out if I hear J.C. Horn being drafted by the Titans in the first round. I mean, seriously, I would be totally freaking out if that were to happen, because it would signal the beginning of the end for either Malcolm Butler or Adoree Jackson. I mean, seriously, it would signal the beginning of the end. And I would not want that. I do not want that. But I'm on St. Brown. That is a good place to be in, USC. Now on to March 25th. Georgia Southern, Massachusetts, Mississippi, North Texas, Penn State, San Diego State, SMU, Tennessee, and Western Michigan. Yeah. So, basically, I think Penn State's going to be the most popular place, but I can see my team, the Tennessee Titans, being looking at those Vols players, like, say, Josh Palmer and Trey Smith. I can definitely see Titans staying at home and going to the Vols on that day. I don't think they'd be interested. I don't think they would go after Jason Elwood. March 26th, get ready for Tennessee Titans looking at Mike Vrabel's son, Tyler Vrabel, at Boston College. Because that's the day Boston College gets its pro day. Along with BYU, Michigan, South Dakota State, and Virginia Tech. So, March 26th is a day Tennessee Titans fans should be looking at on Boston College, because there is a chance Mike Vrabel's son could be a Tennessee Titan if he does go through with the draft. Meanwhile, March 26th, Indianapolis Colts fans should keep an eye out for Christian Darrisaw. I already mentioned him before, but I got the wrong school. So, March 26th is Virginia Tech. So, Indianapolis Colts fans should keep your eyes open on Christian Darrisaw. That way you can look at his left tackle position. That way you can keep your eyes on him. Keep in mind the Colts need a left tackle to replace Anthony Costanzo. So I think it makes sense for Christian Darrisaw to be the guy to replace Anthony Costanzo. Unless, of course, somehow Indianapolis Colts get Trent Brown or Trent Williams. Yeah, keep in mind Las Vegas Raiders are in the running to trade Trent Williams. Now that would be one heck of a trade. Especially since they have the cap space for it. I mean, seriously, they're in third place in the cap space. And they're the only playoff team that actually has the cap space to do it. They already replaced their QB. Now they have to replace their left tackle. Now we move on to March 29th. Arizona State, Duke, Louisiana Lafayette, and both Miami schools, Miami, Florida, and Miami, Ohio. Then there's North Carolina and Washington State. As a Tennessee Titans fan, my guess is that they'll be heading to Miami, Florida for this one. They probably want to look at the edge rushers, Gregory Rosario and Jalen Phillips. I hope Jalen Phillips is on their schedule, isn't on one of those draft picks, because John Phillips, he's basically injury probe. I mean, seriously. The guy is injury probe. You do not want that. Especially after you screwed up the first time in the first round. Well, you screwed up a lot of picks, but Jeffrey Simmons isn't one of them. You did a good job with Jack Conklin, but here comes the problem. He left and became a Cleveland Brown. So he doesn't count. Jeffrey Simmons is the only piece of greatness you've done, John Robinson. Other than that, you suck. I mean, seriously. This is why it's do or die this year, especially since the cap space is so low. And these pro days are crucial because there's no NFL Combine this year. There is no NFL Combine this year, so every team has to attend these pro days, and it's going to be tough because this time they're going to have the NFL teams, they have to choose which pro days they want to attend wisely because there's no Combine. There is no Combine. They got to pick the right school to go to so that they can look at these guys and they can review them and decide if they're worth drafting. That's right. There's no Combine, so what's left to do? Go to the pro days. But because some pro days are scheduled on the exact same day, which is why Tennessee's going to have a problem on March 17th because Georgia and Pittsburgh are on the same day. They want to look at Azeez Ojulari or Patrick Jones II. They got to choose between the two. Meanwhile, let's move on to March 30th. East Carolina, Florida Atlantic. Louisville, North Carolina State, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Tulane, and Washington. Do you think the Titans should sign Desmond King? My gut is telling me yes, Saints fan 101. My gut's telling me yes, but if they say no, I know another Desmond that got released today that Titans should keep their eyes on, and that's Desmond Trufant. I mean, seriously, Desmond Trufant is released. If King is gone, there is another Desmond Tennessee Titans should look at. Then again, there are other teams that could be interested in Desmond Trufant. Like, say, teams like Dallas Cowboys or Denver Broncos. Teams that are in need of a cornerback should get on the phone on March 15th and negotiate with Desmond Trufant. Anyways, yeah, back to my theory on the draft on March 30th. This is a day Tennessee Titans fans should look at Washington players because they already contacted 4 Washington players, including Levi on Woody Siraki. I don't even know what the heck his last name is, but his first name is Levi. They also looked at Joe Tryon from Washington. Yeah, they have 4 guys that are interested. I think this is a day Tennessee Titans fans should look. So I think Washington's pro day is exactly what Tennessee Titans are going to look at. And that would be a big pain in the neck. Because I'm thinking Levi is going to be more valuable than Christian. And I don't think that's such a good idea. I mean, seriously, the guy, not that I trust Levi, but he's not a pass rusher. I can guarantee you that. I don't simply trust Levi. Now, I can trust Joe Tryon, but not Levi. If Levi turns out to be Tennessee Titans pick for IDL, I am seriously going to freak when he gets called. I mean, seriously, I am going to freak. I am simply going to question John Robinson on what the hell he is thinking. I mean, seriously, what the hell is he thinking? Because he's already screwed up enough with Isaiah Wilson. And he got lucky on the Darrington Evans pick, and he was lucky that Philadelphia Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts. Because if they had chosen Christian Fulton, we would have been screwed on the cornerback situation a long time ago. I mean, seriously, Trevon Diggs was already gone at the time. Crap, I don't even know what the other cornerback was. But yeah, Christian Fulton was the last big-name cornerback left. If the Eagles had taken him over Jalen Hurts, Titans fans would have been screwed, and we would have rioted over John Robinson a long time ago. But no, we were lucky that Howie Roseman didn't screw up. I mean, seriously, we were lucky that Howie Roseman screwed up by picking Jalen Hurts. Did John Robinson pray when that pick happened? Did John Robinson really pray when that happened? I mean, seriously. Anyway, now on to March 31st. We got Baylor, Boise State, Florida, Kentucky, LSU, Notre Dame, and Wake Forest. Yeah, a lot of Florida guys. You could definitely count on Jacksonville Jaguars, Miami Dolphins, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers to attend Florida's pro day, but I think I can see Kansas City Chiefs attending Florida's pro day because of that Tony guy. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, I think it would be that guy who runs the same play as Tyreek Hill. He's not on my mock draft, so I can barely remember that name. Kadarius Toney, I think. So yeah, he's not in my mock draft, which is why I can't remember the last name. But yeah, I can see all the Florida teams and Kansas City Chiefs attending Florida's pro day. April Fool's Day is not a day for NFL teams, especially when you're in the middle of drafting. April 1st's pro days are Minnesota, North Carolina, Charlotte, Oklahoma State, Oregon State, South Florida, UCF, and Western Kentucky. yeah, that's basically on. So yeah. Yeah, if you're interested in Aaron Robinson, UCF's Pro Day is where you should be attending. April 1st is the day you should be attending for Aaron Robinson's. I mean, seriously. I could see Jacksonville looking at this. I mean, seriously. They have a lot to fix. Quarterback, edge rusher, cornerback, safety. I mean, seriously. Those are categories they could look at for Aaron Robinson. I think April 2nd is these three schools: Indiana, Oregon, and Tulsa. April 7th is only Texas Tech. And finally, April 9th is Ball State, Houston, and UAB. And that's basically much it. That's the whole college pro days schedule. So for those who just listened from start to finish, you're all set to go. But rewatch this video if you haven't, because I'm not going to go over a lot of times. So yeah, that's basically the schedule. And as a Tennessee Titans fan, I already know Purdue is the place Titans fans should be attending because the organization is going to be attending that Purdue Pro Day, because they are looking at Rondale Moore. This is not good. This is not good if you want an Alabama player like Christian Barmore. That is bogus. It means that they are in the running for Leonard Williams. It means that Tennessee Titans could be looking at what Leonard Williams. If they don't get Leonard Williams, then they just missed the opportunity to get. Then they missed the opportunity to get Christian Barmore's respect. I mean, seriously. I can see Jacksonville Jaguars attending Alabama's Pro Day. Other than Tennessee Titans, Purdue will also have Los Angeles Chargers and Green Bay Packers there, because those two teams are also looking at Rondale Moore. I mean, Rondale Moore looked at a lot of teams, had virtual meetings with a lot of teams, but Chargers, Titans, and Packers are the only ones that'll be attending face-to-face with Rondale Moore. So yeah, Rondale Moore, he met with a lot of teams virtually, but Chargers, Titans, and Packers are going to be the only teams that meet Rondale Moore face-to-face, which means they're attending Purdue's Pro Day. And it's the same day as Alabama's. So Chargers and Titans ought to cross off any Alabama's players, especially Barmore. I mean, seriously, because you don't have combines. Because you don't have the combine, you have to attend the college pro days. You have to choose them wisely, and apparently March 23rd, Titans, Chargers, and Packers select Purdue because they're all looking at that Rondale Moore guy. But for Tennessee Titans, March 17th is going to be a tough one because Georgia and Pittsburgh share a pro day together, which means it's going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult to select between Azeez Ojulari or Patrick Jones II. If they're interested in either of those guys, they got to make a choice on which pro day to attend, because they can only attend one, and they're both scheduled on the exact same day, and that is the opening day of NFL free agency, which I will go live 1 hour from then. Yeah, that's right. I'll be having a 1 hour. I'll be going live 1 hour early to discuss my predictions on which teams will go where. Where then we'll be on for a little while during free agency till at least my dinner time. Then we'll be discussing all the latest breaking news by then. So mark your calendars down for March 17th when that happens. Yeah, mark your calendars for March 17th. Because that's when I go live 1 hour before free agency. Oh yeah, since tomorrow is pro days, I figured it's time for my mock draft. Yep, it is time to announce my mock draft, people. It is quite simple. So yeah, it is time to announce my first 6 picks in the draft. For Jacksonville Jaguars, number 1, I selected Trevor Lawrence. Now here's the thing. Here's a little experiment I did with the New York Jets pick at number 2. I traded it to the Detroit Lions. And the Jets got the number 7 pick in the draft, pick number 41, and next year's first-round draft pick. Well, one of 2 first-rounders, that is. And I have Detroit Lions selecting Jamar Chase. Yeah, I know, but I know that was a crazy pick on my end, but someone has to be Jared Cook's receiver. I mean, come on. Can't expect him to not have firepower. For number 3, I have Miami Dolphins picking Devonta Smith. And this pick would make more sense than the Jamar Chase because Devonta Smith, he's compatible with Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, seriously, Tua would be happy to have Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle on the team. And I chose Devonta because he's the MVP. Because he's the Heisman Trophy winner. He's the Heisman Trophy winner. He does not deserve to be in the bottom of the barrel. So, yeah, I think Miami would select Devonta Smith over Jalen Waddle. At number 4, I have the Atlanta Falcons selecting Zach Wilson. Why is that? Well, it's quite simple. New York Jets traded down, so Zach Wilson is next in line. So, I think I agree that Matt Ryan's time could be up, but I think Zach Wilson may be the future, not Trey Lance. For pick number 5, I have Cincinnati Bengals selecting Penny Sewell from Oregon. I mean, seriously, you got to protect Joe Burrow at all costs, so get a tackle for crying out loud. Now, for number 6, I have Philadelphia Eagles going linebacker on this one. Micah Parsons from Penn State. And I'm like, you're thinking, what? Quarterback is more important than the linebacker. Yeah, but they also have to focus on the defense. They also have to focus on the defense as well. They are starting over again. And I don't think a quarterback in the first round would not make any sense for the Philadelphia Eagles. So, yeah, I say the defense has to come first, which is why I chose Micah Parsons. Because he's a linebacker from Penn State, so he won't have to leave Philadelphia, so he won't have to leave Pennsylvania. And he'll improve that Eagles defense. Well, not to a point where they make the playoffs, but slightly improve that defense. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Michael Parsons ends up in Philadelphia. Sure, I'll have to wait a little while longer to be an elite linebacker, but still. Now on to 7 through 12. I have now on to 7 and 12. Now, because I traded that number 7 pick to Detroit to get Detroit Lions at number 2, I have the New York Jets selecting at number 7 Justin Fields from Ohio State. And yeah, he would be wasting his time with the New York Jets, but he could improve. He could turn this Jets team around. I mean, seriously. He could be the one that can get the Jets out of the ditch. Get them out of the ditch, Justin Fields. Get them out of the ditch. So yeah, I'm sticking with the fact that New York Jets could get Justin Fields, even though it's going to take a little while longer. At number 8, I have the Carolina Panthers selecting Kwity Paye from Michigan. Yeah, that is what I call one bruiser of a pick, but they need an edge rusher. And here's another trade I made at number 9. I have the Denver Broncos trading to the New England Patriots. Patriots get the number 9th pick in exchange for pick number 15 and 46. If it doesn't make any sense, don't blame me. And I have the New England Patriots selecting Trey Lance, which solves their QB problem if they don't get one in free agency. So yeah, I believe Trey Lance could definitely fit well in New England. For number 10, this one's going to be a shocker. As much as I want Christian Barmore in Tennessee, I drafted him with the Dallas Cowboys because they need a defensive line, and if Scooter McGruger is watching, he would totally laugh it up with what I said, because Christian Barmore is a great defensive line, and the Dallas Cowboys would be thrilled to have him on the team. I'm sure all you Cowboys fans, especially Scooter McGruger, if you guys send this episode over to him, and he responds with one of his yeah. Look, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. Anyways, let's move on with my mock draft. Next up, the New York Giants. I have them selecting Jalen Waddle. I think Dave Gettleman will learn his lesson for the last 2 years and finally do something right. Because if he doesn't, he's going to be fired for real this time. 3 strikes and you're out, Dave Gettleman. And yeah, Jalen Waddle would make sense because he can really give Daniel Jones the firepower he needs. I think this could be a wise decision on Dave Gettleman's part. Now on to number 12. I have the San Francisco 49ers selecting Patrick Surtain II from Alabama. I know, that's not a pick I was expecting either. Patrick Surtain II to San Francisco? What about Denver or Dallas? I know, but San Francisco does need cornerbacks as well. I can definitely see Patrick Surtain II giving the 49ers the firepower they need. I mean, seriously. I mean, Patrick Surtain II could get the firepower. I mean, seriously. And you all thought my Dallas Cowboys pick was crazy, thinking that I would pick Christian Barmore over Patrick Surtain II. I mean, seriously, I had Christian Barmore over Patrick Surtain II for Dallas Cowboys. What do you think Scooter McGruger would think about that? I don't know. I do not know. Now on to pick number 13. I picked Rashawn Slater for the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they will go tackle when that time comes. I think that would be the perfect time to draft a tackle. For Minnesota Vikings, here's the thing. Kyle Rudolph's release makes sense with this pick. I chose Kyle Pitts from Florida. Yep, I chose Kyle Pitts from Florida as the Minnesota Vikings' next pick. Why is that? Well, Kyle Rudolph is gone. They're going to need a tight end. I mean, seriously. Good pick for my Chargers. Great, Gregory. Thank you. I mean, seriously. They released Kyle Rudolph. Vikings need to go and get Kyle Pitts. Now on to pick number 15. As you all know, I traded the Patriots pick to the Broncos. The Broncos, I have them selecting Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. So yeah, they could go cornerback, but I just projected Denver Broncos to go down to do it. Because they won't have to worry about Caleb Farley way down. I think it would make sense for Denver Broncos to trade down this year. Now on to pick number 16. Now here's the thing. For pick number 16, I had Arizona Cardinals trade with the Buffalo Bills on that pick. Yep, I had Arizona trading with Buffalo on that pick. Cardinals got picks number 30 and 93, while the Buffalo Bills got 16. And with that 16th pick, I had the Buffalo Bills select Najee Harris, running back from Alabama. Why is that? Why did I choose Najee Harris? Well, it's quite simple. They need the running back. They need the running back, for God's sake. I mean, seriously. Najee Harris could be the running back Buffalo needs. I don't see any big names coming to Buffalo in the running back department. I mean, seriously, Aaron Jones is not going to come to Buffalo. I mean, seriously. So, yeah, Najee Harris could be the guy Buffalo Bills could be looking for, which is why I had them projected to trade up. I mean, seriously. Tell me if I'm wrong about this. Because they're a few steps closer for being a Super Bowl team. I mean, seriously. They were one round away from a Super Bowl, and they had to get through Kansas City Chiefs to do it. Unfortunately, they struck out. Their running back stinks, which is why I think trading for Najee Harris is the solution for Buffalo. That's why I had Buffalo Bills trade up. On to Las Vegas Raiders. I have them selecting linebacker Jeremiah Owusu Koramoah, linebacker from Notre Dame. Yeah, I think I agree with these experts' decisions on the Las Vegas Raiders pick. I think that Notre Dame linebacker could be Las Vegas Raiders pick. That's why they should be attending the Notre Dame Pro Day. For pick number 18, I have Miami Dolphins selecting Gregory Rousseau from Miami, Florida, the edge rusher. I mean, seriously, Dolphins, they got to work on defense as well. I mean, seriously. I think one pick is going to be offense and the other is going to be defense. Which is why I picked Gregory Rousseau. I mean, what do you think I'm expecting? Jalen Phillips? Nah. And now on to Washington football team. Let's pick. Now, here's the thing. I have them selecting quarterback Mac Jones from Alabama. I don't trust that Taylor guy. I do not trust that Taylor guy, which is why I chose Mac Jones for Washington football team. I think they should attend Alabama's pro day and give this Mac Jones guy a shot. I mean, seriously. That's why I have Mac Jones selected by Washington football team. Because I think they need the proper quarterback. I think Mac Jones could be the guy. I don't trust that Taylor Eisman guy. I mean, seriously, I do not trust the guy. Now on to Chicago Bears pick. I have them selecting Elijah Vera Tucker from USC. As much as I would want them to pick a quarterback, I think they're going to be okay on the QB hunt. I think they could draft a little while long. I think they could wait a little while longer for QBs. Maybe wait for Kellen Mond to show up. Anyways, yeah. And also, they're in the running for Alex Smith. So, yeah. I could see an Alex Smith and Matt Nagy reunion in the future. I mean, seriously. Alex Smith and Matt Nagy reunion. That could happen. Now on to Indianapolis Colts. You know my answer. Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech. Yep, Christian Darrisaw would definitely be the winner of the Indianapolis Colts pick because, like I said, they need a left tackle. Which is why I think Darrisaw is the pick. And as for my team, the Tennessee Titans, as much as I want Barmore, this is going to conflict me, but if Barmore's off the board, then this is what's going to happen on my first mock draft. Tennessee Titans selecting Rondale Moore, wide receiver from Purdue. Yeah, I think Rondale Moore would make sense because he's a speedy guy and knows how to use his legs. He's like the Roadrunner. Which is why I think this could be possible. I think Rondale Moore is definitely going to be the guy to look at once Tennessee Titans get on attend Purdue's Pro Day. So right now Rondale Moore is Titans pick on my mock draft 1.0. Now on to the next pick. New York Jets keep their 23rd pick. The pick they got from Seattle in my mock draft. So I have them picking Travis Etienne, running back from Clemson. So yeah, they get their QB and they get their RB. Now on to Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, I think a lot of fans are gonna really be crazy about my pick because I have them selecting Wyatt Davis from Ohio State. I mean, seriously, they need an offensive guard. They need someone to help with Big Ben, especially since his deals got restructured. Which is why I say Wyatt Davis. Wyatt Davis is the key, is the pick I chose for Pittsburgh. Now on to number 25. Jacksonville picked offense at number 1. At number 25, I have them picking defense, and it is J.C. Horn from South Carolina. They need a cornerback, people. They need a cornerback. They got to improve on the defense as well, which is why I chose J.C. Horn, because by then Barmore would be gone. Because Barmore was officially gone on my mock draft, but way before that happened. So yeah, J.C. Horn from South Carolina. That's who I pick for Jacksonville at the number 25th pick. Now on to Cleveland Browns. And a lot of you Cleveland Browns fans are going to thank me for this because I chose Rashad Bateman, wide receiver from Minnesota. So yeah, Bateman is who I picked for Cleveland. Because Odell Beckham Jr., when is he going to leave the team? I mean, seriously, they would need a wide receiver. Which is why I think Rashad Bateman should replace Odell Beckham Jr. For all you Baltimore Ravens fans, you're going safety on my pick. I chose Trayvon Mulverick from TCU. Yep, I chose Trayvon Mulverick for TCU. Hey, Saints fan 101, you still here? Because we're moving on to New Orleans Saints pick. Oh, I guess he's not here. Oh, well. Anyway, let's move on to the New Orleans Saints pick. I chose Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback from Florida State. Yep, that's the guy I chose for New Orleans. Asante Samuel Jr. With no QBs to choose from, they have a lot of guys to think about. Plus, what about Marshawn Lattimore? Is he going to be traded? Which is why this pick would make sense. Now on to the final four picks. For all you Green Bay Packers fans, the pick I select is Nick Bolton from Missouri. Yep, Nick Bolton from Missouri. I have Packers picking a linebacker with this pick. Because they need to improve that defense. Packers definitely need to improve in that defense category. Next up, Arizona Cardinals. Sorry if I almost skipped. I almost forgot. Yeah, Arizona Cardinals, I have them selecting Elijah Moore, wide receiver from... Yeah, I have them picking Elijah Moore. Sue me. Yeah, not. And then I have Kansas City Chiefs selecting Azeez Ojulari. And then finally, I have the defending Super Bowl champs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, selecting Jalen Phillips from Miami. And that's basically much it. That's my mock draft from start to finish. I can't say it twice because... Oh, well. Yeah. Anyways, it's time for me to sign off. I'll be seeing you all next time.